Hello, I will be doing my history presentation on the American Dream, starting with the definition. The definition of the American Dream is a set of ideals and notions that the U.S. citizens had in mind that include rights and freedom and democracy and equality for all people. And they seek prosperity and happiness regardless of what circumstances they're born into. And a key element for the American Dream is the belief that through hard work and perseverance that anyone can rise from the circumstance of quote-unquote rags to riches. The American writer and historian James Turslow Adams defined the American Dream as with the quotation, life should be better and richer and fuller for everyone, which opportunity for each according to ability or achievement, with neither social class nor the circumstances surrounding their birth being a barrier to success, end quote. Next, we move on to the origin of the American Dream. It's rooted in the U.S. Declaration of Independence. The document, created by America's founding fathers, sets two key things in place that are largely responsible for shaping what the classic American dream is. The Declaration says that all men are created equal and that each man or woman has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's important to note that the U.S. Constitution, the legal foundation of deadlines and how the government shall operate on a daily basis, uses this idea as its basis, noting that its purpose is to help secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our prosperity. Now, there are several versions of the American Dream. Throughout U.S. history, both before and after it became an independent nation, the American Dream has changed, going through a variety of forms and meanings while maintaining, as its essence, the core beliefs of freedom and happiness in place. In the early years, the American Dream was centered around the lure of westward expansion and frontier life within the U.S. John Murray, Virginia's governor of 1774, said that most Americans were constantly imagining the lands further off are still better than those upon which they are already settled. He also noted constant dissatisfaction and desire for ever more and ever better when he said that if they attained paradise, they would move on if they heard of a better place further west. We move on to 19th century America. In the 19th century, the beginnings of immigration were affected by the American Dream. A perfect example of this is the immigration of the many highly educated Germans who ran to the U.S. after the failing of 1848 German Revolution and the attempt to break down the hierarchical standards. They were drawn by the political and economic freedoms embraced in the New World and the fact that America didn't operate the same class system, nor did it subscribe to the notion that a person could only achieve as much as their class dictated. The American Dream was also shaped by the discovery of gold in the 19th century in California. This took place in the year of 1849 and drew hundreds of thousands of men believing that they too could become millionaires overnight. Some did become rich in a manner of ways, while the majority did not. While it has changed through many years and different political and economic circumstances within the country, the belief in the personal success is possible for anyone to attain is a dream that still motivates Americans today. Next, we have the 20th century American Dream as it shifts throughout the various centuries. The term American Dream became even more popular in the 20th century, partly on the back of James Turslow Adams' 1931 book, Epic of America. Adams noted how the American Dream had changed over time and how it was difficult for European aristocracy to understand its value or why it drew so many immigrants to the States. Adams went on to say that the American Dream is not a dream of motor cars and high wages, merely a dream of a social order in which each man and each woman shall be able to attain the fullest stature of which they are innately capable, and we recognize that others for what they are, regardless of the fortunate circumstances of their birth or position. The American historian also stressed that despite the growth of the country, the exploration of the rich and successful, and how much families established a sort of social order where those coming from a position of wealth tended to succeed and have greater opportunities, that the belief was that regardless of this, anyone could find success and happiness. The American dream is and has been much more than that, and it has been a dream of being able to grow to the fullest development as a man and woman, unhampered by the barriers which had slowly been erected in the older civilizations, unrepressed by social orders which had developed for the benefit of classes rather than the simple human being of any and every class. Without really getting into too much of politics, there was the movement of the right for women to vote, as well as the civil rights movement that flourished in the 1960s, were all parts of what was shaped by and even further shaped by the American dream. Now, I have also cited 2 books that I read. The first is The Maid's Daughter, and the second is Psychoanalysts and Black Novels. Now, these are both excellent texts to read through regarding this theme. In conclusion, ultimately, the American dream maintains a core set of beliefs, the right to certain freedoms that enable every individual to pursue a life of success and happiness. What success and happiness mean to one person is not necessarily what it means to another person. And in conclusion, in the end, it is up to the American to decide what the dream looks like to them, with the knowledge that America affords them the opportunity to pursue it freely. Thank you.